Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Hold My Banner. Now, if you love this show, first of all, thank you. Secondly, we know you'll love the Hockey Hub on Nessun as well. The boys talk about the Bruins' recent struggle. Check out Hockey Hub on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcast. All right, here we go. Put those banners up and hold them. Welcome into Hold My Banner. Travis Thomas here with the walking, talking, triple-double himself. Ountae Campbell in the house. How you doing, Papi?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm excited because we're getting close to All-Star Weekend, and we're going to talk more about that in the next episode, but we got a lot to cover in this one, for
yes,
sure.
We do. Now, Ountae, the Super Bowl is officially over now. So the NFL season is over now. So now with all these stars being traded in the NBA, you just wait. Second half of this NBA season, watch how the ratings go up.
Yeah.
Oh, what a coinky-dink. I think not.
Hey, Adam finally figured it out because
Yeah.
I'm super excited, and, you know, I'm not going to waste too much time. We got to talk about Luka's first game as a Laker.
Yeah.
Now, he had his debut, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, just 24 minutes. He had a minutes restriction. Travis Thomas.
Yes.
What do you think about Luka's first game as a Laker?
Well, I mean, listen, as we just see the stats right there, those are humble stats, we'll call them, but it was a blowout win.
Yes.
The thing that jumped out to me is the same thing I remember us talking about De'Aaron Fox when he had his Spurs debut. I saw Luka smiling, laughing,
Right.
having fun,
Yeah.
dapping up Bron, dapping up his new teammates.
Yeah.
I didn't see that Luka that much in Dallas, and I'm not suggesting he was unhappy,
Right.
But you didn't, he had
It was
that
the more
weight.
ferocious
Yeah, and I
Luka.
think that pressure and that weight
Yeah.
of being the man on his shoulders. But this Luka was fun-loving, smiling, having a good time. You know what else I saw, Ountae?
What'd you see?
Zero defense, as in none, as in nunca, as in zero. Like no defense at all from Luka. Which, I mean, I've also got used to seeing in Dallas.
Yeah. We
talk about on this show when he did play defense during their playoff run last season. The Mavs I'm talking about, they made it to the finals.
Right.
So, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. This was the debut performance. Let's see if that changes. But I have real concerns. LeBron at an advanced age doesn't play defense like he used to.
Right.
Luka, I don't know if he refuses. I don't know what's going on there defensively in his mind. And then they have no rim protector.
Yeah. Nice.
Like I saw Rui playing center.
Yeah.
What?
And obviously our last episode we talked about them getting Mark Williams. That deal has now been nixed by the Lakers.
They don't have a center on it.
Right, because he failed the physical. So now they're basically dealing with buyout centers. I see Daniel Tice has gone overseas, so he's not an option. I'm seeing that Alex Len may be an option for them in the future, who is like, is right.
I covered
Alex
him in
Len.
college day.
Yeah, Maryland kid. Yeah, and Alex Len is a decent backup big, but they don't have true starting bigs on this roster. And even if they do add Alex Len, it really won't help too much. It's just another body. But yeah, back to Luka. I agree. This offensive output that he had was just a little but you can expect that. It's the first game. It's 24 minutes. He's not trying to be, overbearing like, hey, this is my team, we're running it this way. He's trying to fit in right now, right? And there's going to be a lot of that this season. And there's going to be a point in this season where JJ says, hey, you're trying to fit in too much. Go play Luka Doncic basketball. We're going to set up some sets more for you. Because it was weird. I was watching Austin Reeves bring up the ball to start the game, and LeBron and Luka are in actions, or Luka's in the corner standing and watching, and I'm like, is JJ just trying to ease him in? Which I think he was. Maybe. You know what I mean? He doesn't know the full playbook and all this other stuff, so it's like, okay, get some couple looks here in the corner, get a couple ISOs on fast breaks, take a couple jumpers, and ease yourself into this. But the biggest deal that you said, and I completely agree with, is that Luka Doncic still does not want to play any defense. And I know it's a Utah Jazz, and I know it's a blowout win, and I know all of that stuff matters, right? But at the same time, I'm looking early into the game. I mean, there was a possession that I remember vividly. 9 minutes left in the first quarter.
Okay.
They're walking the ball up, the Utah Jazz. Isaiah Collier hits ahead to John Collins in the corner, and he just turns the corner on LeBron and Luka and just gets a layup
on both of them.
Just one pass, hook around to the middle of the paint, layup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to see, and that's the reason why I personally keep saying lose trade. We already see that AD's out with injuries.
I saw. Do we know how long that is? Because I'm seeing conflicting reports.
Yeah, so I've seen indefinitely as for right now.
That's not good.
Right. So, but they're hoping that it's going to be short. It's not really a long term. Hurts the abs again. The injury that kept him out, before the beginning of his stint with the Mavericks. So, I think that when you look at this trade from both perspectives, whether you look at it from a Dallas perspective where we're going to trust two aging, unhealthy stars to help us win, and we look at it from a Los Angeles Lakers perspective where we're going to trust two guys who do not play any defense. I'm sorry if that offends you, but LeBron's 40. I can give him a pass.
Yeah, he at least gets a pass.
Luka's 25.
Yes.
And I've seen LeBron do it for many of years, being one of the greatest defenders in the league. So I can give him a pass. Luka, on the other hand, standing straight up and down when you're trying to endear yourself to a city and saying that you're going to, help them win and do all this other stuff. And after they slandered your name as not being a defensive guy and they continue to double down on it, the owners, the GMs, everybody over there in that organization saying that you're not a defender, for you to come out and stand straight up and down and for JJ Redick to have to hide you on the defensive end, because that's what they were doing, hiding him on the defensive end as much as possible. It's a scary look.
I'm not letting JJ Redick off the hook here, and here's what I mean. Some of this stuff is a disadvantage of having a JJ Redick in two ways. Number one, it's too much buddy stuff. Yeah. Remember, he got the gig because he's LeBron's boy. They did a podcast together. Yeah. Like JJ Redick did not have the prerequisite requirements that most coaches need to have. He didn't have the experience to coach the Lakers at that. So I think it's too much buddy stuff. Mm-hmm. Okay, so JJ Redick and LeBron are boys, check. But now you bring in Luka. Everyone's just so happy to have him.
Used to be teammates.
Luka and
JJ.
Used to be teammates. Right. Everyone's so happy to have him. And just like, Luka, singing all his praises, that no one's going to get on him. Yeah. And say, listen, brother, like you got to play defense around here. Hey, LeBron, I know you don't play it anymore, but you did. Teach. Show him. We're expecting LeBron to do all this, teach him how to take care of his body. It's not just that.
Right.
Like, a lot of this stuff is attitude.
Yes.
Hey, you're the face of the franchise. This is the Lakers.
Yeah.
I don't need to play defense every night. Your ass need to play defense every night. And there's not enough of that. And I think JJ Redick is a person who should, Ountae, be holding everyone accountable on the team. But it's too much buddy. He's too green, in my opinion. Yeah. I still disagree with you on the lose-lose trade. In the end, this guy's 25. I'm going to wait forever. I'll wait as long as it takes for this to pay off. I still think Luka gets a ring with the Lakers.
Hey, look, after this weekend, after watching the Chiefs lose, and I had to hear on the internet how the last three-peat in, professional men's sports history, is in America is the Los Angeles Lakers.
Kobe and Shaq's Lakers? They're the last ones,
last three-peat. You know what I mean? Okay, so I have to sit here and see that on the internet. So I'm saying Luka has to bring the Lakers a dynasty. I mean, when you talk about every single team that the Lakers have had and every single star, those dudes have been locked in on both ends. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. All those guys who have their numbers up there in the rafters, they were locked in on both ends. And now I understand that they're going to put LeBron in, and he was not locked in on both ends during his Lakers
the bubble. Maybe I don't the bubble. Remember.
After that, what I mean? It wasn't much of locking in on both ends. That might have
been it. The bubble might have been the last defense we saw LeBron play. Right.
But other than LeBron,
other than that,
every single guy that's up there in the rafters,
that's
has
fair.
Locked in on both ends.
Well, they've given everything, Ountae. That's the point, right? Like,
so only in the Palinka era have we gotten these stars that don't do that.
No, that's fair.
The other times we got stars that gave all the effort on both ends, playing in the Lakers jersey.
Well, that's my point. The problem here is it's too buddy. It's too Luka. We're so happy to have you. Here's one thing though. Yeah. And you called this AD, and you brought this up. How AD was it?
Yes.
to dominate that game.
He was killing.
By halftime, he had a full stat line.
Right.
Right?
Killing.
And then I think it was the third quarter. He gets no contact, like just falls down, grabbing his junk, which we later found out was the ab, right?
Yeah,
but
right.
I thought it was a groin at first.
I thought it was groin too.
But, like, it's just so AD.
Yeah.
And now we don't know how long he's out. Indefinitely. I will tell you what. I'm already ticked off if I'm a Mavs fan because you got rid of my boy Luka.
Yeah.
Now I see this. I am seething, Ountae.
Hey.
Seething.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. I've already said that.
You called it.
I called that. But what I need people to hear from me is this Luka Doncic defense situation.
It's a problem.
Is a problem. And the Utah Jazz didn't take advantage of it as much as they needed to because Will Hardy is a newer coach and they're not very good.
They suck.
But other playoff teams will, and it will be a problem. So
I think it's exposed more, Ountae, when you don't have a rim protector.
Yes.
It'd be different if you are opening up the floodgates and guys are going to the paint, and it is a giant.
And you had a Dwight, right? I mean, not now, but, former Dwight standing at the rim, waiting.
Exactly, especially with Luka's game, because now whoever that big is going to alter the shot.
Yeah.
You're in position for a rebound, and you could get it going another way. Listen, when I watch the Celtics without Porzingis, we've talked about this on the show. Porzingis, everyone talks about the shooting and the crowd loving him and all that. And all that's great. But really what I notice when Porzingis is in that lineup, he alters shots defensively. And he also makes you second guess going to the cup on him. So, the Lakers, I'm not saying they're going to trade for Porzingis here. What I'm saying, they just need a big body who can block shots.
100%. But I do want to note that the Celtics are just a much better team defensively as a whole because
that's true.
They're not letting guys get straight line drive to the rim.
Yes.
You know what I
that's
mean?
A good
so
point.
they don't even have to worry about that
that's a good point.
as much, as often. The Lakers are going to be giving up more straight line drives to the basket. But all right, let's talk about the guy who's hanging out at the bottom of our screen as well. Jimmy Butler had his first 2 games with the Warriors. He's the only players in Warriors history to record 40-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, 10-plus assists in their first 2 games. Jimmy Butler in 2025, Kevin Durant in 2016, and Guy Rodgers in 1958. So, Travis Thomas, how do you feel about Jimmy Butler's first appearances as a Warrior?
I wasn't surprised in the production. I'm glad you sort of went the combo platter there with, points, rebounds, assists, because that's what I've noticed. I know, the points jump out to most people. He had 25 in the debut, 20 in his second game, but he is crashing boards. He is doing other things. It's almost the opposite of what we just talked about with Luka. Luka's happy to be there. He's getting comfortable, but he's not playing defense.
Right.
Jimmy Butler's coming in. Clearly, he's happy to be there, happy for the change of scenery, happy to be out in Miami where he's getting fined for breaking every rule possible. Now he's with Steph, and you can see it's kind of typical Jimmy Butler. He is giving Steph and Draymond all the effort he needs. I never doubted the productivity from that standpoint. Where I doubted and where I am waiting for the wheels to come off is the first practice or the first game
it's not happening,
or the first locker room moment or the first moment on the PJ where Draymond and Jimmy get into some sort of kerfuffle. It's coming.
Not.
Hands will be thrown.
No.
I don't know when, but I know it's coming.
No, I'm not a betting man, and I'm willing to bet against that happening.
No way.
Because as I told you last time, whenever they've had other knuckleheads on their team, they have never had those altercations. Yeah. If you think Jimmy Butler is an altercation kind of guy, who do you think Chris Paul is? You know what I'm saying? And Draymond and Chris Paul ain't really have none of that. You saw Chris Paul beefing with Harden, you know what I'm saying? You saw him beefing with his teammates beforehand, right? But when he was with Draymond, no issues. Same thing with Jimmy Butler. No issues with him. And Rondo, no issues with him or any other guys, just the guys on his team who guys. Were younger. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They have problems with the younger guys. Older knuckleheads, not so much. You know what I'm saying? except for the KD situation. That was a little different.
Yeah,
but KD's not a knucklehead.
Jimmy Butler's a jerk. No one wants to call him. He's a jerk. It is what it is. So is Draymond.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
But look, what I like from this is, the shooting hasn't been there for Jimmy, but he's giving Steph life.
Mm-hmm.
He's giving Steph life. Steph had 38 in that game against the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the last game since the beginning of the season, because at the beginning of the season, Steph was here. He was doing the thing, and we're like, okay, the old heads are here. And then he kind of tailored off. Not to say he was playing bad. He wasn't playing bad, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't having these big box sheet scores in the games, right? He's now looking like Steph, who's comfortable, who has a playmaker, who knows he's going to get that extra pass. So he's comfortable with, taking that shot and maybe looking off one and then giving it to somebody else and letting them play instead of hunting and feeling like, well, I have to shoot this one because I'm not going to touch it because, another guy might take up the shine or think it's about them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's taking that pressure off of Steph Curry to be the man, which is in turn letting Steph Curry be the man, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I love that he's doing what he's doing for this team. And I told you, I was like, I believe this is a good fit, which I didn't like is $60 million for the next 2 seasons.
That's right.
That extension is, a little handcuffy, if they do need to make moves, because this roster is still incomplete. They still need help in their bench, in their depth. I mean, they're playing Quentin Post, who's a great big, but he wasn't the guy coming into this year that they were expecting to have, real minutes for them. He's being relied on moment after moment after moment right now for this Warriors team. Right. And out of Boston College, obviously I'm rooting for the kid, but I don't think that he's the, the end all be all as far as, 6, 7, 8th mans that the Warriors need to be playing.
Sure.
So they have some things that they need to get done in this offseason to really make themselves a contender, which Steph definitely wants to be, which Draymond definitely wants to be, which Jimmy Butler definitely wants to be.
Yeah.
But this was a great move in the sense of they didn't really get off assets that I think were playing well for them.
Sure.
They got a guy back that is helping them play the way they want to play, and he's a winner. So it is what it is.
I want to see how Kuminga sort of fits into this too. You and I had a conversation on the show about how, everyone was like, "Oh, how could you do this to Kuminga?" Like, what? Like, this is a good thing for him,
right?
Because I think likely, at least at this stage of his career, he's not a second fiddle, and I think he has to figure out a way to become that third piece, and then the Warriors could be really good. Listen, I'm looking at the Western standings as we talk.
Yes.
At the recording of this podcast, the 2 teams we've talked about, Lakers are now 4th in the West, playing really great basketball. On a win streak, they're hot.
Yep.
And then the Warriors now in that play-in. Remember, I remember a few weeks ago we were talking about how will they even make the play-in, so they are in that zip code right now.
Yes.
I would think both of these teams are playoff teams. Mm-hmm. And right now, Ountae, I would bet against both of them in the playoffs. I don't think Luka and LeBron play enough defense, and they don't have anyone in the interior. It's like the Lakers are the opposite now.
Yeah.
Remember, they could clog the middle with Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. They were a big physical team. Mm-hmm. And then, you would get scoring from Davis pretty consistently, and then every now and again LeBron would turn back the hands of time and go off.
Yeah.
Now they are the opposite. You don't know what you're going to get from LeBron, although playing well consistently. Luka is going to be just fine offensively, but they have no one in the middle, and they don't play team defense at this point.
No.
So I don't trust the Lakers. And then as far as the Warriors go, you're much higher. I'm very curious to see your answer to this because you're higher on them than me. I still don't believe in it. I don't believe where I think Jimmy Butler helped Steph, to your point. Mm-hmm. There are moments in games now Steph can say, little break, little Gatorade, thanks. Mm-hmm. Like he can actually pace himself.
Yeah.
Or even if he's out on the floor with Jimmy, he can pass the damn ball and breathe and relax and catch his breath. I think that helps Steph. So I imagine his numbers are going to go through the roof, which we've seen since Jimmy's been there. Mm-hmm. But in the end, in a 7-game series, who are they beating? They're not beating the Thunder. They're not. Listen, right now I would take the Grizzlies. Mm-hmm. I would take the Nuggets. Mm-hmm. I would take the Rockets. I just don't think they're beating anyone out west. So both of these teams, kudos to you for making your trades. Lakers, your future is bright. I disagree with Ountae. But Warriors, I still don't like the fit of Jimmy Butler, and neither one of you are winning anything in the postseason.
Yes. Before I move on to your question, bright in the sense of what? Because
he's 25.
Yeah, but the Lakers championships.
I agree.
Championships.
I'm not willing to go
with
plural.
the Nets.
Yes,
with the Nets. Not one.
I think if Luka gets you one.
What did Bron say? Not one.
Not
two.
I don't see that. I don't see that.
Well, then it's not bright then. So so we're moving on from that. But look, if you're gonna ask me, I want to ask you this before we go on: are the Lakers, are the Warriors better off to make a playoff push? Like, which team is better off to make a playoff push?
Warriors, because of, listen, Jimmy knows how to win. He doesn't want a title, but he knows how to get you there. Obviously, Steph, Draymond, Kerr is Kerr.
Okay.
I would say the Warriors.
Okay, then. And
literally the Lakers don't have a center. So that's concerning.
So then you're not. So you can't say that I'm higher on the Warriors because I agree. I think that they are better set. Obviously their issues with the standings right now are what they are.
Yes.
But they're 2.5 games back from the 6th seed. The Clippers are only sitting 2.5 games ahead of them, and they're in the 6th seed.
It's hard to trust
now
them.
as we record it.
Yeah.
So it's not. They're not far away from being a team that's not in the play-in. They're at the bottom of the sheet right now, but we're seeing with the Rockets sliding, the Lakers could possibly slide now having a center. We have no idea what's going on with them, right? Mm-hmm. The Clippers, they've kind of been here and there all season. Timberwolves here and there all season. Dallas, if AD is going to be out for forever, how long is that going to match up? You know what I mean? Sacramento needed theatrics to go beat Dallas the other night. You know what I'm saying? So, they're also kind of like, who are they? We're not sure, right?
Right.
This is a team that could easily climb into the standings. We could be talking at the end of the year, and they could be a 5 seed. They could be a 4 seed. We don't know. The season is that close, and the West is that stacked. So I agree. I'm with you. I think I trust the Warriors more in this situation going on for the rest of the season, just because I just think they have better continuity as a team. They're a team. Mm-hmm. But you're right. Neither of them are making it past of the first round.
No. I think in a weird way, the win for both will just be being relevant and being in the postseason. The Lakers have been able to do that, but remember, we didn't even see the Warriors last season in the postseason. So I think in a weird way, the win for both is just getting in, and then you'll see what you could do. I anticipate all the stars being great.
Yeah.
LeBron and Luka will score a ton of points, and then they'll lose their series in 5. And then, Steph and Butler will be great, and they'll lose theirs in 6. It won't even matter.
And I can tell you right now, the Western Conference playoffs are to be electric, just like they were last year. And I can't wait to watch.
Now there, my friend, we agree. Hey, by the way, the Celtics are getting closer and closer to the All-Star break, so we'll talk them next. But first, want to hear all about Boston sports? Check out Nesson's daily sports podcast. Boston has entered the chat. You too can enter the conversation by tweeting at us using the hashtag NessonChat, or you can always email us, thechat@nesson.com. Boston has entered the chat is available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, let's talk about them Celtics. How about them Celtics? Bro, I'm sorry. They have broken the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
I told you weeks ago, I said the best thing ever is that they weathered the Jimmy Butler and Bam storm for all those years when they were losing to Miami. Mm-hmm. Now they popped out and won titles, and they have effectively ended the Heat. That's a dub on that tweet right there. They blow out the Heat yet again. This is routine at this point, 103-85. So let's talk about this game first, because I'll tell you what jumped out to me.
Yeah.
As I say, well, they've broken the Heat. They broke through, won this title, and they've ended the Heat. Mm-hmm. Listen, bro, one of the reasons is because this next man up mentality. Yeah. It's because they are so damn deep. In this game, think about this. You're without Jaylen Brown.
Yep.
You're without Drew Holiday.
Yep.
Okay, no problem. Sam Hauser lights you up. Al Horford lights you up. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever who's up tonight? You? Okay, go ahead. Pritchard, go get him. Hauser, go get. It's just they're too deep, Ountae. And I will say this: his first half was a little quiet.
Yeah.
In that second half, the bag that Jayson Tatum was working out of, I mean, he had every offensive move in his arsenal.
Yeah.
He used it against the Heat. And he is talking smack, too. I have never seen Jayson Tatum act like this. I just hope that post-All-Star break, second half of the season going into the playoffs, this Jayson Tatum we're getting sticks around. I mean, he dunked on the Knicks' whole team with two hands.
Yeah,
he's screaming on cats.
Precious Achiuwa died that
day. He's screaming on cats. He's cussing at cats.
Yeah.
He's ripping the heart out of the Heat. I mean, I heard on the broadcast, I heard go Celtics, let's go Celtics chant in their building. Like, this guy is doing whatever he wants. I am telling you. Tatum, you know what? Clip this off, Ountae.
Here we go.
Jayson Tatum's about to win All-Star MVP. All-Star Game MVP.
Whoa.
Yep. Clip that off.
Oh.
Jayson Tatum's about, matter of fact, I smell a betting opportunity. I'm going to look up these numbers. Ountae, please, your thoughts on the Celtics beating the hell out of the Heat while I gamble heavily. Thank you.
Look, I love that this game was a next man up mentality.
Yeah.
Like you said, when I looked at that game, they started off slow, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Yes.
Another Celtics, up and down. As soon as you think they're here, they're the champs, they're back, they're going to let some lowly team, missing another star with Tyler Hero out, come into their, not their crib, but come into the game and just take it over and steal their hearts, right? Mm-hmm. But they didn't do that. Like you said, Jayson Tatum was a little slow. So what did Missoula do? He traded him out and put Peyton Pritchard in. Peyton Pritchard runs with the starters of Sam Hauser.
Yes.
Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White. And what do? Go on a run and make sure that this team is in a position to win the game. And then what did Tatum do? Like you said, in the second half, because stars sometimes need the pickup. Yeah. And he needed the pickup in the first half. In the second half, he became that guy. The third quarter for Jayson Tatum, he needs to put that in his letter to the league saying, hey, I want to be MVP. Forget All-Star MVP.
Right.
League MVP.
League.
This is me. This is who I am.
Yeah.
The things that he did to the New York Knicks this weekend.
Man.
He needs to turn that whole game in and say, hey, league, this is why I should be MVP. Right here in the Garden.
Yeah.
Big stage.
Man in the Garden.
Top 3 teams in the East.
Facts.
What did I do? Tatum takes over.
Facts.
It's my team. It's my league. You know what I'm saying? So I love what I saw from the Celtics now going into a game where they have to face off against Wemby and De'Aaron Fox.
Man.
But going into this All-Star break, this team has won 6 of their last 7 games. They're really on a heater.
Yep.
I'm loving this team, man, and I'm loving this win.
Okay, now you brought up the Spurs, so I want to preview that game. But before we get there, I have some odds I'd like to run by you.
Okay, yes. Talk to me about All-Star
and we'll do this next episode deeper on.
Yes.
Because as you know, it always comes back to gambling for your boy.
Yes, always.
But just for the sake of the conversation here are your favorites for the All-Star Game MVP. Steph Curry is your favorite at 5-1. LeBron James at 9-1. Wemby at 9-1 as well.
Okay.
That one wouldn't shock me.
No, that wouldn't shock me.
Dame at 11-1 playing well. Anthony Edwards 11-1. SGA. Man, 12-1. Feels like something there too, huh?
Okay.
Here's another one I don't hate. Donovan Mitchell, 18-1. He's playing really well right now.
I can see that.
Jalen Brunson, 18-1. And looky, 18-1, Jayson Tatum.
Hey, you might have to throw bread on that. I know that price is nice for you.
It is. Hey, honestly, bro, what I would bet on Tatum as a single unit, instead what I might do is a little sprinkle me, man.
A little sprinkle me, man.
I like Tatum's
E40?
I think so.
Sprinkle
me, man.
You doing the E40 in the Bay with the All-Star game?
I'm not going to lie, bro. Tatum, I'd probably sprinkle a little bit. Donovan Mitchell, the way he's playing.
Yeah.
And then I can't look at SGA at 12-1 and not bet that, can I?
No, I mean, how could you miss out on that opportunity?
That's 3 guys and maybe a little Wemby at 9-1.
Yeah.
Out of those 4, somebody got to get me paid, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, one of them got to get you paid.
One of them got to get me paid.
We'll talk more All-Star, next episode. But, yeah, let's go back to Celtics versus Spurs.
Yep.
That game is coming up tonight. Travis Thomas, how do you feel about this game for the Celtics?
Well, I feel the same way I've been feeling. I think the Celtics are going to win the game because they're too deep, as I mentioned. They actually play defense. I love Victor Wembanyama. It is clear.
Yes, we know.
That
Your
is
favorite player.
That's bromance.
You came out and said it.
Yes, favorite player in the league.
Yeah.
And obviously De'Aaron Fox, who I am a fan of, those two together just work.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is a young team that doesn't know how to close yet. Okay. I looked this up, Ountae, because I knew we'd be talking about this game. And I said, how is this team in close games?
Yes.
Because a lot of times with young teams, they don't win on the road and they don't win close games. Okay, and this team doesn't do either. And generally, that's normal. I'm not taking shots. It's just a normal young team personality trait. They are 5-6 in games this season, decided by 4 points or fewer.
Okay.
I think tonight we're going to get a close game. Wemby and De'Aaron Fox are a freaking problem, bro.
Yeah.
Like, those two are cheat codes. However, they don't really, the Spurs, play great team defense.
Right.
And they don't close. So I'm going to go the Celtics to stay hot here. But I'll go Celtics in a close game who know how to close, who know how to finish. 113, 110.
Okay.
I think we'll continue to see Tatum on a tear. I'm going to anticipate, Jaylen Brown and they're still going to have some injury issues. So I think Tatum's going to be rolling solo here. Yeah. And his, cast of characters.
Yeah.
I'll go Tatum to go off, De'Aaron Fox and Wemby to go off. But stops down the stretch, Celtics know how to do.
Okay.
Closing the game with clutch shots and stops. That'll be the difference here. Give me the Celtics 113-110.
Yes. I think that this is the last game before the All-Star break.
Yes.
And I think that the Spurs have been on a long road trip.
They have.
And since adding De'Aaron Fox, they are 2-2. They did lose by twice in those two losses.
They're not good in late games.
One to the Magic and one to the Hornets.
Yeah.
And I sit here and I tell you, Travis Thomas, it's time for them to get routed by the champs.
Okay.
I believe that Wemby is going to have his moments. Fox is going to have his moments. But I think this is Tatum thing. He's on the tear. Man. And he wants to make a statement before going into the All-Star break. A team that wants to go into the All-Star break feeling good on a 2-game win streak possibly here. So they're ending the streak the right way, going into the break the right way. I'm going to predict a 130-111 game for the Celtics.
That's a respectable route.
Yes.
Right?
Respectable.
It's a respectable route. Here's what I'll say. I want to push back because I'm such a Wemby fan and all that. And you and I actually think the Spurs may be on the precipice of something special there. But they need off-season. Ountae, listen, I was the same guy this past weekend. I was on the radio. I was on WEI. And I said my prediction for the Celtics-Knicks game at Madison Square that night was Tatum to hit a game winner. It's going to be such a tight game. And the Celtics beat the hell out of the Knicks. So, it's not crazy of you to think, hey, listen, Spurs, long road trip. Yeah. Celtics, hot right now. They want to go into the break with the momentum. They may make an example out of these boys. You could be right, but I'm still going to go a close game here. I actually think, Celtics are going to lock in. Sometimes really good teams before a break, it's not so much about the dominance going out and blowing someone out as much as it is they want to tinker things and work on things that is important for the second half of the season. Yeah. So I bring that up to say I could see this being a lockdown defensive. We're going to shut all these other losers around De'Aaron Fox and Wemby down and then, obviously do what we can to neutralize those stars. That's why I'm thinking more of a close game here. But you could be right because at any time, one thing about these Celtics, they reserve the right to beat the hell out of whoever they want. And the Spurs may be next up.
Yeah, they might. They just might be, Travis. They just might be.
All right, well, when we come back, Ountae's going to bring a game to the table like he always does, and I will struggle with it like I always do. It's one of the reasons why you love Hold My Banner. But first, let me tell you about the Patriots. Do you want the latest on them in the NFL? We'll tell you what Mike Vrabel and the Pats should do with the 4th pick in the NFL draft on Nesson's football podcast, Foxborough Rush. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else podcasts are found. All right, I teased it. What's the game? What am I going to struggle with this time?
Man, you know what it is. It's win in 7.
Oh, I do pretty good with those.
So we have the opportunity here for you to guess the NBA player that I am thinking of. You have 7 questions to get the player. And if you don't get it on the 7th question, then you'll get the silhouette and get one more final guess.
Okay, hold on. This doesn't count as one question.
Yes.
Sometimes you'll give me a little heads up.
Yes.
Does the silhouette help me this time? Oh, that's not good. A little hezzy here.
I'm going to say
it's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to say yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. First question.
Yes.
Is this a current or past NBA player?
This is a current NBA player. That was question number 1.
Is this player currently in the Eastern or Western Conference?
This is currently an Eastern Conference player.
Okay, we got an Eastern Conference killer.
I love that the deadline's over, so I can say that with confidence.
Yeah, facts. No kidding, bro.
With confidence.
How many guys did we talk about in that last show? And then
right.
Okay, so Eastern Conference current. Okay.
Yes.
This could be giving it away because we're literally at the All-Star break here, but. Yes. Is this player a current All-Star?
Yes, this player is a current All-Star.
Okay, the plot thickens here. Okay.
That shortens down your list. That was a great question.
Right?
Great question.
I told you I'm decent at this game.
That's great question. That was question number 3.
Okay, so I got so current player, Eastern Conference, current All-Star at that. Does this play? I always like doing this. Does this player have any titles?
This player does not have any.
Okay, title-less.
Championship.
I write in my notes title-less.
Yes.
Okay, but he is an all-star, whoever this man is.
Yep.
All right. How many is that? 4?
Yep, that was question number 4.
Okay, all right. Okay, all-star. I'm going to go all-star here.
Okay.
Does this player have any all-star accolades, meaning All-Star Game MVP, maybe a 3-point contest win or a dunk contest win? Do they have any All-Star accolades?
I'll have to check on that one.
Well, if you don't know, no, you would know. You know all these guys.
I feel like he does have a All-Star game, something or another.
Okay,
but
plot thickens again.
I'm not 100% sure about that.
Okay, for what you think he may have, what is it? That doesn't count as a question. This is just a follow-up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before you look it up, like, is it a dunk or a 3-point or an All-Star Game MVP? Because that changes my vote.
Yeah, it would not be a dunk. I would just say that it wouldn't be a dunk.
So it could be an All-Star Game MVP, or
it wouldn't be an All-Star Game MVP.
Oh, it'd be
either.
a 3.
Or it could be,
no, it'd be a 3.
Or it could be something else.
A possible 3-point contest winner.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm narrowing this down. How many am I at?
That is question number 5.
Okay, so I have 2 more?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to lock in here. I believe this player's a guard, and I have 2 guys in mind. And unfortunately, the questions I can't really separate because, okay. Well, they're both veterans. This is a veteran player. I don't know how to ask. Does this play? Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
Would you say this player currently is the leader of their team?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, what do I got? One more?
Yeah, that was question number 6. So if you want to waste your guess on question number 7, you can.
Okay.
Or you can ask.
Current player, Eastern Conference, current All-Star, title-less, possible 3-point winner, and he's a leader of his team. That is key. I know who this is. Can I call for my last question? Can I call for the silhouette?
Sure, fine.
I'd like the silhouette, please.
To the silhouette.
I'd like to buy a vowel. Oh, yeah. I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Yeah, who do you think it is?
Ice trade a game, baby. Trae Young.
Let's see it.
How good am I at this game?
Let's go.
Let's clap it up for your boy. I mean, I am dominant at this game.
Man.
I believe my last 7, I've won in 7.
You've been cooking on winning 7. Yes, Trae Young. Congratulations, Travis Thomas. It is Trae Young. And I'm bringing up Trae Young for this reason and this reason alone. He is finally an NBA All-Star. I think he should have been an NBA All-Star from the beginning.
Should have been over hero.
Right. So, he says some things in life are just bigger than yourself 4 times with 4 stars next to it, as he put out on Twitter. Travis Thomas, we never got the opportunity to talk about the fact that all-star snubs. I mean, we didn't really get to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
You know, the news was moving too quickly.
We gave our who we thought should have made
it and who we did it. But how does the league look at this man right here, averaging what he's averaging, and say, oh, nah, we're going to put in Tyler Hero?
It's ridiculous. Even out west, bro. Like, it took AD getting hurt for Kyrie to get in. Like, what are we doing? Trae Young and Kyrie both. Like, I thought both of them should have been all-star. It's it's weird because I act like I don't care.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about this stuff on TV, who I think should be an all-star and whatever. And then when the snubs come out, I get fired up every time. And like Trae Young, we even talked about LiAngelo Ball.
Right. LaMelo.
I mean, LaMelo Ball not making it.
This ain't no, I swear.
It was, you got that song.
You got that
because
song.
you played the Lil Wayne version for me. Which was just all right.
Yeah.
But we talked about him too being snubbed. So look, at least Trae Young's in it. And he might mess around. I need to look at the odds for him. He might get in that joint gunning.
Look, I have Cavs fans telling me that they think Jared Allen should have made it. I had the Hawks fans telling me that he should have been in. But I was in LA this weekend. Let me take you guys behind the curtain a little bit. I was in Los Angeles this weekend. I had the opportunity to see Into a Dome for the first time. But this is not about that. I went and watched the Lakers, and I wanted to see what they were going to look like. And I wanted to see if Luka was supposed to play because he was considering playing on Saturday.
Sure.
And he didn't. So I was forced to watch the Pacers.
Yeah.
And the Pacers, I'm not always friendly to their team because I don't like the makeup, and some of their fans are screaming at me that Tyrese Halliburton should be an all-star, and this isn't about Farnsworth Bentley at this point.
Oh my God.
I need to talk about
Farnsworth Bentley.
They watch, like, Travis, I was sitting there with my mother, and I was looking over to her, and I said, hey, by the way, 43 is an all-star, by the way, as he has a donut. Pascal Siakam, not against the Lakers team with LeBron and Luka.
You hate
There is no LeBron and Luka, and maybe that's why, because they actually had the defensive players on the court, and LeBron and Luka were taking a night off, so they were actually playing a little defense. But I had to watch Pascal Siakam, NBA All-Star, struggle to score against the Lakers G League team. The Lakers G League team.
I'm not going to lie, bro.
And Trae Young had to be an injury replacement? Are you serious?
I'm not going to lie.
0. You know how much Tyrese Halliburton had? 3.
Your hatred for the Pacers and the Rockets needs to be studied in colleges across the country.
I'm just saying,
That's
Travis.
how deep it is.
I'm just saying,
It is deep-rooted.
I'm just saying, bro.
Hate. If you got hate in your heart,
my God.
let it out.
Oh,
Red Sox spring training is here, and everyone's watching closely to see if this team is playoff bound this season. We know you have a lot of questions about the Sox future, and we asked the players, coaches, execs, alum, all of them, the same questions on Nesson's Baseball Podcast, 310 to Left. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever else you get your podcast. Okay, so I said there, the hate for the Pacers is palpable, but you have the same kind of hate for my Rockets. What's your problem, bro? Huh? You know I've gambled on them heavily, Ountae. I am vested. H-Town, I'm with you. When I come to town, treat me like Mike Jones. Who?
Travis,
What?
man, are you still high on the Rockets after this past couple weeks?
Okay.
Are you still high on the Rockets? They lost 6 out of their last 7 games.
I know what they've done.
They were on a 6-game losing streak before the Super Bowl.
I'm aware.
So,
Thanks.
they went in and finally beat the lowly Raptors at the crib.
I'm aware.
Are you still high? That's all I want to know. Are you still high before I go in?
I knew this was going to happen because you showed me all your cards during this losing streak. All I've been getting is text messages. and then he has a nerve to be like, oh, all your Rockets friends on the internet, you guys are all quiet. So I prepared for this onslaught, this ambush. And Rockets fans, I'm going to make you proud here because I went back and I looked and I said, you know what? That streak was pretty ugly. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
And I was a bit nervous having as much gambling as I have on this team. It does make me uncomfortable how vested I am in Houston. However, when I go back and look, during this 6-game skid, I got it right in front of me. They lost to mostly quality teams.
Not the Nets.
Okay, I said mostly.
I'm not here to
Grizzlies, Knicks, Timberwolves, Mavericks. I can kind of live with that. I'm not saying it weren't. They lost to the Nets twice.
You told me this team's going to the Western Conference Finals.
I'm just saying, these are quality teams, and I'd much rather them have a little rough patch here, little roughsies, right before the All-Star break. Ime, as great a coach as he is, we all know that around here. There were some other things, transgressions, but he can coach. Ime can kind of right the ship, calm everyone down. You don't have 4, 5, 6 all-stars on the team that are going to be away from everything. No. Everyone get your rest. Recalibrate. Let's watch film. Let's get it together, guys. Second half, we cash Trav's ticket for him. Just to reiterate, I have the Rockets winning the West and losing to the Celtics in the finals. I gambled on both. You could do both. Oh, you're going to laugh. You're going to give me a belly laugh?
Oh, man. I just think it's funny because obviously, I've seen the comments from the Rockets fans in that video.
They should get at you.
And they were mad at me for saying things about them. And look, I'm just going to start here first. When you guys type in the comments on this video, I don't want to hear about people sitting out. I don't want to hear about injuries, none of that stuff, because all I heard is, when they lost to this team, this person didn't play. And when they lost to that team, this person didn't play.
Why are you using that voice?
When we beat this team, we didn't have this person. And so there's no excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses. You had an opportunity to make deals at the deadline. And I got them here. I got them right here because I got my notes. You guys, before the deadline, acquired a 2020 second round pick, a 2030 second round pick from the Celtics, Cody Zeller, and a 2028 second round pick. That was your own second round pick. So you got 3 second round picks in future years. Cody Zeller.
What's your point?
James Springer, who you waived.
Yeah, I didn't like that wave.
And you did not address the issue that I was telling you about in the last video.
Shooting.
You cannot score the basketball consistently.
I can't argue that.
And it's been a lot of that during this losing streak. It was a lot of high-scoring nights where you're shooting 40%, and there was nights where you're shooting 28%. Over and over again, back and forth. And guess what? You told me defense is going to give us over the hump. Where's the defense the last 6 games? Well, everyone's telling me, they're gonna win a playoff series. Ountae, you're wrong about them.
I don't like these voices.
Travis, here, let me give you my Travis.
I don't
voice.
Like this.
Ountae, they're giving you, they're playing quality.
Why do
opponents.
I talk like Shaq?
They're giving you quality opponents. They lost to some quality opponents.
Grizzlies, Nets. What do you mean?
It's the playoffs. It's all quality opponents that you're gonna face, and you're telling me that you can't beat the Nets twice,
bro. It's February, bro. Like we have time to work this out. This is what great coaching does. I don't trust JJ Redick to get me out of this situation, but Ime, I'm with it.
Y'all are lucky that we're at the end of the episode, and I ain't got more time to rant. And I will talk to you again soon, Rockets fans. But don't hit me in the comments with the excuses about injuries. I don't want to hear it. 6 games in a row for a team that's supposed to be a contender is terrible. Well, let me know about that.
Listen, I have time. I would like to talk about the League Pass game we're going to watch, and mine is the Suns at the Rockets tonight, because just like the Raptors game was, this is another game to get right at home for my Rockets. They win this game tonight. Big blowout status. The Suns stink. We all know it. This is the best thing for you. You beat the hell out of the Raptors. You beat the hell out of the Suns.
Not the hell. They escaped the Raptors.
Well, whatever. You beat the hell out of the Suns. Okay. Then you go into All-Star break, and you feel good about yourself, and you shut the haters up like Ountae.
Yeah, and who's yours? And the Raptors are trash, by the way.
They are trash. They are trash.
I'm going to give y'all a real quick, simple. Hawks at Knicks. I got to see Trae Young in the Garden. We know every single time we get a special moment. We had the dice roll in the NBA Cup the last game, and this is his first game back in the Garden since then. So you know New York is ready to yell at him and throw everything at them, especially with the Hawks being lowly and starting to lose game and trade guys out of their franchise. So I'm excited to watch this game strictly for petty hoops, which you guys know I always love.
Bro, they beat the Raptors 94-87.
That's not a smack.
I mean, it's
they escaped.
You act like they didn't escape. They didn't escape.
They won a basketball. This ain't college basketball. They won a game with 94 points.
And they kind of play college. They do play a little bit. They clog up the middle. Good defense. Everyone do their assignment. This is why you don't like them. This is fundamental old school basketball. You know what this Rockets team? This Rockets team should have played with the old Heat and Knicks rivalry back in the day. This is one of those teams. This is why I like them. They are a throwback 90s, tougher than a $2 steak team, and they're going to do great in the playoffs. Put some respect on the Rockets' name.
I won't be doing that. But somebody I do want to pick respect on before we get out of here. What about that Super Bowl halftime performance? So we just got to talk about that real quick. Man,
shout-outs to you.
What did you think about that one, Travis?
Shout-outs to you, man. It was so L.A., you know what? Honestly, bro, I had the privilege of watching that halftime show with you.
Yes.
And it was great, man. I don't get the hate. I saw people saying this is the worst halftime ever. Yeah. What? What are you talking about? That was a fantastic halftime show. I thought Kendrick did fantastic.
It was a great moment. And I feel bad for all of our Nesson brothers here who were watching it with me because I told them beforehand.
You were turned.
Hey, just so you know, when this comes on, turn the lights off, shut up.
Yeah.
Because I'm locked in. And then I talked through the whole performance.
And he was right.
Because I was just so late. I was screaming and hopping and hollering and dancing and
hooping and hollering. And I was in the back the whole time. See? Hey, man, I ain't from L.A., but I'm like...
He was out there with Serena doing the dance, man. So, yeah, man.
That's it for us here on Hold My Banner. I'm not from the West, but I'm repping with Tay. I am repping them Rockets, though, and them Celtics.
God.
Thank you so much for rolling with us here on Hold My Banner. I'm going to get to two-stepping out here with my Kendrick. Close us out, Tay. Hey.